Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Secrets of the Viz. This week we're celebrating Pride Month, so I've selected 4 from the Tableau featured gallery that have pretty interesting techniques. The link to the gallery and the resources we'll be covering today will be in the description below, so do check it out. Let's get down to unlocking the secrets of the Viz. Over here, we have a visualization from Pablo that shows the change of same-sex relationship for the past 50 years, broken down by age groups. This is a pretty unique chart called a Petal diagram, or some call it the polygon chart. The boxes for each age group expands outwards from the center point, indicating a larger metric value as it grows. To create this, you will need to create an LOD function that calculates the percentage, but always including the year and age granularity. Pablo has also used the average, but it doesn't really matter much since there's only one record per year and age anyways. But that aggregation will be something to consider when you have multiple data points per group. The next step is creating the x-axis. By default, the values are always positive, which means they'll be plotted on the axis greater than 0. So in order to get to the 4 quadrants, we need to reverse the sign for the 35 to 49 and 50 to 64 age group. The next important step is the square root function, which normalizes the value in a linear fashion so that the boxes grow and shrink at the same rate. The calculation for the y coordinates are also similar, reversing the sign for the 18 to 34 and 35 to 49 age group, and normalizing via the square root function. He has also created the column and row calculated fields based on the year and age combination. This basically sets the stage for the small multiple arrangement which you can see here. Then, you want to change the mark type to square, add a little color, adjust the sizing, and there you go. The second viz we are featuring today is this piece about 16 must-watch LGBTQ movies by Adedamola. I love how the whole theme of using custom shapes like popcorn, VHS tapes, and movie reels to tie the entire thematic design. This is a perfect example of how you don't have to rely on complex charts to tell a compelling data story. One cool trick that I wanted to point out for this viz is the VHS tape bar chart. It's basically a custom shaped bar on the averages of each of the movies. But as you can see, even with the size set to the largest value, the VHS tapes are barely readable. You can hack this by adjusting the cell height. Go to the Format menu, then Cell Size, and select Taller. Or you can use the shortcut key Ctrl+Up. If you ever want to reset the sizes, go to Worksheet menu, Clear, Manual Sizing. And there you have it. I remember there was a phase when the data fam started to churn out a lot of these pixel maps, and it's a pretty quick way of beautifying maps, which is a hassle to format if you ask any of our map experts in the community. Thankfully for us, there is an easy way of doing it using an external tool from AM Charts. In that website, you can set the world projector type, the pixel shape and size, and the distance from one another. Click on the Generate Pixel Map to render it, and use the HTML download button to get the code for it. If you're not too familiar with the HTML code, this might seem to be a whole lot of mumbo jumbo to you, but you don't have to worry too much about most of it, as we're going to just take a snippet of it. Scroll down until you see an amchart.makechart, or you can use the Find tool in your browser. In this segment, there is a text that says Data Provider, and you want to copy everything from the curly bracket to the comma, right after the 3 consecutive brackets at the last country. Paste these values into a notepad and remove the first lines after the curly bracket, leaving the line that says Images in place. Save this file as a JSON file with the file extension .json and close the file. Now head over to Tableau and add a new data source. Connect to the JSON file you have just created and select all schemas. You can now import it into Tableau. Within the canvas, you can drag the longitude to the columns, latitude to the rows, and title to the color mark. Now here's where the magic starts. Right-click and change both your longitude and latitude to dimensions instead, and voila! You can change additional map options like the background and stuff, but this is the main gist of creating a pixel world map. The last showcase today is the one Lisa Trescott did for RuPaul's Drag Race. It analyzes the different entertainment aspects that each of the drag queens incorporates in their lip-sync performance, from their fashion to their dance choreography. To be utterly honest, I have not watched any episodes of this, but after seeing Lisa's Fizz, I'm definitely gonna check it out. There's so much to love in this Fizz, but I want to focus on just two practical tricks. The first is on how to create a circle timeline chart. It is a useful way to quickly show the trends, especially when there's a lot of variance in the data. To create this, you simply have to drop the values on the size and have a discrete dimension to disaggregate the values horizontally. The next hack is more on the visual side of things. The first one is adding a white border or any color you're using for your background to the marks so that it seems that the data points are stacked on top of one another, instead of you hovering over to find it out. The next one is using the famous minimum one trick to draw an additional line to show how far the data is from the max axis. While you would want to synchronize the dual axis for percentage, over here, the values are rather huge, so you don't actually want to synchronize them. You can also adjust the axis of the minimum bar to add a bit more padding to the charts on the right. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Secrets on the Fizz and learned a thing or two. Keep fizzing, and I'll see you the next time.